Hey guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. After what happened in Connecticut, there's been quite a bit of talk about new gun legislation, and I think that good gun legislation could help a lot so as to reduce the chances of this happening again, or even if it happens, so as to reduce the amount of victims. So here is my proposition for good gun legislation. For this, I'll have to assume a few things that I think are pretty much facts, but let's go along with me and see if you agree with me or not. First of all, there's a huge difference between a madman that breaks into a school, a mall, a university and tries to kill as many people as possible compared from a burglar that maybe breaks into a store, a bank, keeps people hostage. In that case, his ultimate goal is to steal stuff. He's more than willing of doing violence. He's certainly willing to do that, no doubt. But his ultimate goal is to steal stuff. In many cases, that's what mostly they're looking for. Now, someone that breaks into a school looking for innocent, helpless victims, little kids, and killing as many people, as many of them as possible, basically picking on them like a fish in a bucket, there's really nothing that you can do so as to make that worse. He's going to be killing as many of them as he can until someone stops him, runs out of ammunition, or he gives up and gets arrested. There's really nothing you can do so as to make something like that worse by resisting in any way that action, that aggression. Anything that you can do so as to stop him, it's going to be much better than just waiting for him to kill as many victims as he can. That's already his plan. Now let's assume for a second something else, that even if you talk with the most anti-gun person and you ask him, already, what would you do if there's a madman in a school shooting kids? What is it that you're supposed to do? You being an anti-gun person, what do you do to stop him? Well, you call the police. Police comes. And what is that? It's people with guns going to this school and stopping, shooting down this madman. So even the most anti-gun person eventually ends up assuming that the only thing you can do about it is sending someone with a gun and shooting him down. Maybe a police officer, it's really just a person with a gun shooting someone else. That is a mass murderer shooting people. So there is already more than one gun involved, and there's already someone else shooting down with another gun that person that is committing this mass murder. So what would be the ideal situation? Then would be to have someone with a gun already there to stop him. Let's assume something else for a second. Let's assume that there is a gun culture in US. Let's assume that there's quite a bit of ex-military personnel, gun enthusiasts, and it's a mistake, in my opinion, to think that it's all duck hunters and target shooters. Last few decades, there's quite a bit of people interested in defensive shooting. Action shooting sports are strongly focused in defensive shooting as well. So we're talking about doctors, lawyers, accountants, school teachers, guys that spend thousands of bucks in training, thousands of rounds of ammunition each year, each month even, on getting this training. This idea that only police officers are proficient with firearms, it simply shows lack of knowledge of what is out there. There's teachers, lawyers, average civilians, average people that are excellent at using firearms for defensive purposes. I see it as a complete shame not to take advantage of that. If there's 2-3 guys in that school that know how to use a firearm proficiently, it's a shame not to have that person armed in case something like this happens again. My gun legislation would basically propose a school carry license, a card, an authorization of some sort allows this person to carry in school grounds. He or she would be someone that either has some military experience, some knowledge on the handling and use of firearms, a firearm enthusiast. This license would involve some additional training, a few days of additional training in terms of active shooter, how to deal with an active shooter. It is all a very delicate, very high-risk situation. I mean, the outcome of this is very very complicated. More than likely someone is going to be getting hurt, but it is going to be much better if you have someone that is willing to stop this mass murderer from committing his ultimate objective, killing as many people as possible, and has the means to do so. I just think about it, and think along with me here for a second. You have someone that knows how to use a firearm. You have someone that at some point may have been willing to take additional training, firearms training, so as to stop something like this. And he does not have the gun with him. There's already a gunfight going on, guys, and it's only one guy being armed. That is never going to be ending up well. If there's even the slightest possibility of having a good guy there with the gun and some additional training so as to handle that situation as best as possible, given the context you are in, that's in my opinion a shame not to take advantage of that. The only way you stop mass murder with a gun is someone shooting that mass murderer down. If you like this idea of mine, share it with your friends, people, maybe send it to your legislator or whatever. And if not, maybe you have some other idea, share it with me in a comment or in a video. And that's basically it, guys. Have a great day. Take care. See you in our next video.